Hey, my name's Lofty, and today we need to talk about something serious. Something that keeps rearing its ugly head in the games that we love, in the worlds that we invest our time and our money in. It's about a lack of respect, it's about greed, and frankly, it's about time we said, this has to stop. The recent situation with Star Citizen and their developer-publisher Cloud Imperium Games, and their sudden introduction of ship upgrades into the Pledge Store, items that offer a direct gameplay advantage locked behind a real money paywall before they're even available in-game, is just the latest glaring example of a worrying trend. And while they've thankfully walked this decision back after a significant community outcry, the fact that it even happened at all should send a shiver down our collective spines. Let's call it what it is: predatory marketing. Creating a perceived need, exploiting the fear of missing out on a competitive edge, and undermining the very core of in-game progression. Earning your way. Imagine the frustration of players who've spent countless hours in Star Citizen only to see others gain an advantage simply by opening their wallets yet again. It devalues their efforts, it skews the playing field, and frankly, it feels like a slap in the face. Not to mention the fact that if you've already bought a ship, well, congratulations, you now get to spend more money on it to make it not obsolete. Even for those of us with smaller ships and starter packages, for example the Titan, you can buy a Titan for 54 or 55 British pounds, but then you can buy the Titan plus the Flight Blades kit for 56.50. So for £2.50 you get this Flight Blades kit, but if you want to buy the Flight Blade kit separately, even with a War Bond, it costs you £11. This is just predatory marketing. It's just predatory marketing. And you may say, well, SIG have walked this back. But remember, that wasn't their initial intention, and they only did that after the community outcry. And you could say that, well, SIG have done this for years with ship sales, and they're also pay to win. And yes, you'd be right. And it points to a large problem with the funding model if players can just gain a direct advantage from day one through their wallets. This is just the latest egregious example, and while it's been walked back, that was not their original intention. And it's not just about the mechanics, it's about the respect. For years, the Star Citizen community has passionately supported this project. To then feel like we're being treated as a mere source of immediate revenue rather than valued participants in a developing universe is deeply concerning. It suggests a disconnect, a willingness to prioritise short-term gains over long-term health and the trust of the community that sustains the game. I'd much rather have a stable game with a few detailed and interesting loops than any form of monetization. At the end of the day, so many games have proven before they can generate revenue through cosmetic sales as a viable funding model. Valve reportedly makes close to $1 billion a year on Counter-Strike case skins alone. But this isn't just about one game or one decision. This is a kind of test the waters approach that, even when retracted, can set dangerous precedents. It normalises the idea of power being tied to real-world money. It might embolden other developers to push similar boundaries in the AAA space, just to see how much they can get away with. What starts as ship upgrades will inevitably evolve into more significant, game-breaking advantages being locked behind paywalls in future titles if we don't tell them it's time to stop. We risk sliding down a slippery slope where the depth and fairness of our gaming experiences are compromised for the sake of immediate profit. It's always so transparent when a new ship or paid feature comes out just in time for an event or a free fly or another sale. We've seen this before though in various forms, haven't we? Take loot boxes and gacha mechanics, like those in FIFA Ultimate Team or Genshin Impact, which operate on the same principles as gambling, often with opaque odds that exploit addictive tendencies and the sunk cost fallacy. Then there's the convenience items that feel essential, such as XP boosters and resource packs in many free-to-play titles, where the core gameplay is deliberately slowed down to incentivize spending on artificial solutions. And let's not forget outright pay-to-win mechanics, as seen in some mobile strategy games or RPGs, where real money buys at a direct competitive advantage, devaluing skill and creating an uneven playing field. Beyond these, we see time-limited offers and FOMO, pressurizing impulsive purchases through artificial urgency. Obfuscating currencies, using layers of virtual money, distort the perceived value of spending and often leave players with unusable leftovers. Even subscription traps and auto-renewals can be predatory, leading to unintended charges through convoluted cancellation processes or hidden terms. While less widespread, the potential for dynamic pricing based on player behaviour raises concerns about exploiting spending habits. This isn't just a series of isolated incidents, it's a pattern. It's been going on for years, a consistent push towards monetization strategies that prioritise pure profit over player well-being and fair gameplay, and it's a pattern that fundamentally erodes the joy and integrity of gaming. But here's the thing, we as consumers aren't powerless. We have a voice, and more importantly, we have wallets, and it's time we started using them to demand better. This has to stop. we need to make it clear to developers that our money is not unconditional. We won't stand idly by while the games we love are compromised by predatory practices that prioritise profit over fair play and community respect. So what's the point of this video? Well, as the title says, it's a call to action to tell developers to stop these predatory practices. Focus on making a decent game first and then focus on cosmetics and monetization. We need to be as vocal as possible about how our time and money is valued by developers who are really only in it to make money. You, as a consumer, need to tell them with your wallet that you won't stand for it. Start holding them to account through forums and social media. Start a YouTube channel and make videos on it or something. I don't know, but the point is, devs, this has to stop. Just make a decent fucking game, Jesus Christ. Thanks for watching. Let's keep this conversation going in the comments below. What are your thoughts? What other practices do you think need to stop? Let's work together to make a change.